Legal practitioner lawyer George Ankuma Mensah has explained the reasons for the Convention People's Party's involvement in a lawsuit against its acting general secretary and acting national chairman for misconduct. According to lawyer Ankuma, the Convention People's Party has no involvement in the misconduct, but it's only legally right for them to be copied in the suit since these persons are members of the party.
As for an order declaring the Central Committee of CPP as constituted by the first and second defendants on or around the 8th of November 2019, with the inclusion of the newly elected regional chairpersons as improperly constituted and constitutes a violation of the Constitution of the CPP. And we ask for an order declaring every and all decisions taken by the said Central Committee, that is the one with the inclusion of the newly elected regional chairpersons, as null and void. We then ask for a perpetual injunction restraining and prohibiting Hajia Hamdatu as first defendant and Kabila as second defendant from going ahead to organize and conduct National Congress in the name of the CPP party with the present improperly constituted regional chairman and their said Central Committee. Then we also ask for an order declaring the bank account at Ghana Commercial Bank or GCB Bank, High Street, Accra, with the unauthorized resolution of the Central Committee and with only Hajia Hamdatu and Kabila as signatories as a violation of the Constitution of CPP, and same must be closed and set aside. And we also ask for an order prohibiting the holding of National Congress planned for March 2020 by the newly elected Central Committee with the inclusion of the regional chairman. Now, then two more, we ask for an order declaring all decisions of the newly constituted Central Committee as a nullity, and lastly, an order that the Central Committee as constituted and existed after the 2016 election of officers to the Central Committee should take all decisions henceforth to the date of National Congress. So, it is important to understand these reliefs that we ask for. Then on the 4th of, we applied for an interlocutory injunction. Now, this injunction was granted, and the injunction prohibited the first and second defendants with the participation of the newly elected regional chairman from functioning and taking decisions on behalf of the CPP, and it also restrained them, whether physically or by any electronic means or telecommunication means or in any way, from taking decisions towards the National Congress. And then finally, it also indicated that their agents, their employees, people organize, and any bodies that they form towards the desire to hold a National Congress is prohibited by this injunction. So this is what was granted on the 30th of April 2020. No, so as it stands, let me explain. Now, we sued the acting chairperson, Hajia Hamdatu, and then we sued Kabila as the second defendant. Now, the reason why we added CPP is that in legal terminology, it is wrong for you to go to court of officers, conduct of officers of the CPP, and the decisions which will be taken by the party which will affect the CPP without putting CPP there as a party. So CPP is a nominal defendant for purposes of this action. But everything that was geared towards, the final claims in our rates were against the first and second defendant. So we have not gone to court to restrain the CPP from functioning.
He emphatically stated that the case in court will rather give relief to the party.
We sued the acting chairperson, Hajia Hamdatu, and then we sued Kabila as the second defendant. Now, the reason why we added CPP is that in legal terminology, it is wrong for you to go to court of officers, conduct of officers of the CPP, and the decisions which will be taken by the party, which will affect the CPP without putting CPP there as a party. So CPP is a nominal defendant for purposes of this action. But everything that was geared towards, the final claims in our rates were against the first and second defendant. So we have not gone to court to restrain the CPP from that. The Central Committee, as constituted by the acting chairperson and the acting general secretary, and who are taking decisions on the party, it should stop forthwith. And that anything that, that new Central Committee, with the inclusion of the regional chairpersons who have been elected, and which we are saying the elections were irregularly done, that group has been stopped from taking any decisions until the court finishes going into the matter. Now, what it means is this, that the Central Committee, as constituted after the 2016 election, before the inclusion of the newly elected regional chairpersons, is still the Central Committee for purposes of running the party.
Until 2020?
Until the National Delegates Congress, when a new national officers are elected, and then they will be sworn in together with the new regional chairpersons. Well, that is the question to ask, and that is the reason we are in court. And we are saying that there has been a violation of the party's constitution. This is very simple. And you will see that underlying that, are matters, even relating to the finances of the party, where in the constitution of the party, the finance committee, there is a finance committee, there's a national treasurer, and there cannot be any decision taken in respect of the party's finances or bank accounts without the finance committee and the national treasurer. In fact, the constitution mandates that the national treasurer should be a signatory to the account. So if we are attacking that GCB High Street accounts on grounds that it has been fraudulently done, then there is a basis, because the principal exhibits is from the national treasurer, who says, I do not even know about this bank account which has been opened. So you see, this rate is to regularize and ensure that officers of the party or whoever has been mandated by the party to take decisions on behalf of the party adhere to the constitution of the party. Simple. We do not intend to cause any disruptions in the affairs of the party. We are actually defending the party from violations or breaches to its own constitution. I would say, and I am not a court, so I shouldn't immediately say that, it constitutes contempt. But let me tell you what contempt is, and then you yourself may be able to tell whether what he's doing is contempt. You see, when you are before a court, until the final pronunciation of the court, you are deemed not to do anything that will bring the authority of the court into disrepute. Now, if you go and you fabricate information, you say things against the other party for the purpose of discrediting them or prejudicing the trial, now all of that amounts to contempt. Now, if you are on air, commenting about the issues and ensuring that, you are judging the matter in public media before the court has had the chance of pronouncing on it, it all amounts to contempt. So I leave it to you to decide whether, what is going on is proper before the court. But I think that, the terms of the orders are clear. Hajia Hamdatu and Kabila are injuncted. They are injuncted together with the Central Committee which they have formed, which includes the newly elected chairpersons and chairmen from the regions, because we have mounted an action to challenge the elections which were held without proper authorization from Central Committee. And also, the most important is that most of these elections were done without, the tacit supervision of the Electoral Commission, which is a mandatory clause under the Political Parties Act. Now, the court did not say that the party cannot run their affairs and do the things that go with political parties, right? What the court has said is that these two officers who are before me and against whom allegations of breaches have been made, they cannot function as such, and that they should not go ahead and convene a National Delegates Congress. But the party as a legal body, right, together with all its other officers, they can take steps to ensure that the party is functioning, and nobody can stop them. So that in the absence, if the acting chairperson has been injuncted in the Constitution, the third vice chairman assumes the position and can take steps towards running the party without breaching any rules.
All persons involved in the suit are restricted from conducting any event in the name of the party.